Hey folks, here's the third practice with the TI84 graphing calculator. We're going to look at points of inflection, intervals of concavity with a given first derivative. So here we've got an interval between negative 1.5 and 1.5 for x. We've got a function f, and here's the first derivative. And what we need to do is which of the following are all intervals on which the graph of f prime is concave down? Okay, concave down. So what I guess I need to do is to look at, there's the first derivative, and what tells me the concavity? Well, the derivative of the derivative, or the second derivative. So, and I might want to look at this in a table, right, to see where the signs change, things like that. And what I'm going to do here, folks, is, let's take a look at this and see. I can do a few things. So let's start by putting in a function. So y equals, and I want to put in the derivative. I want to get the second derivative in that table so I can see if it's negative, it's concave down, if it's positive, it's concave up. So I'm going to enter this in right here, but I want n deriv. So I go alpha, window, and I do n deriv. Now you're going to notice the n deriv looks a little bit different in here. N deriv in here, oh no, it doesn't actually. It still looks like that. So d by dx, it's only in the solver that it looks different. So d by dx of e, so second function ln, and now it's x to the fourth, x in little hat to the fourth, arrow over, minus 2x squared plus 1, and then arrow over to get out of e, and then minus 2. I could have had that whole thing in brackets, but I didn't. So, but I do have this whole thing in brackets, so I'm going to end a bracket there. And there's my function. And then I need to consider it for x values that equal x, because I want a whole function here. So a whole function. So then I hit enter, and there we go. There's my function. So that's going to give me the second derivative of the function f. And so in a table, let's do that. Second function table setup. And if I look at my intervals here, what's the lowest I want to go to the left? Negative 0.418, negative 1, negative 1.35, negative 1.5, negative 1.5. Okay, so it looks like the lowest. And I'm going to go, for this one, I'm going to go to 2 decimal places, I think. So let's see. I want to start my table at negative 1.5, negative 1.5, and I'm going to go 0.01, and I'll see. It might be too slow to go through the table, but let's just see. And I'm going to leave it as auto. So now let's look at the table. Second function and table. Okay, so the left, this gives me my x value in this column. And in this column, I've got the concavity. So it's definitely negative at negative 1.5. So that's concave down. So let's look when it's concave. So it's concave down still. 1.3s. So it's still negative, and when does it switch? Still negative, still negative, still negative. Right there, that's clearly a 0 because that's 4 times 10 to the negative 6. Okay, so when the graph is concave down, so negative 1 to 1, we can get rid of that one. So it's because it's concave up, it appears right there, right? And it's not this one because it's negative at negative 1.5, so we should cross that one out. We can cross that one out. Negative 1.5 to negative 1. So it's negative 1.5 to negative 1. That one works right there. So it looks like that might be the only one. Keep going, positive, positive, positive. So it's concave up still. And let's see what happens when we get to 0. And I probably could have gone to 0.1. It wouldn't have taken as long with 0.1 instead of 0.01. So still positive, so it's still concave up. And if that is true, it should switch. And in fact, it does. Look at that. Then we go to concave down again. So between negative 1.5 and negative 1, the second derivative is negative, so that's concave down. And then between 0 and 1, I'm guessing it will work because automatically none of these work. So now I can go to the end and see, but I think I can be fairly certain that that's the only answer that works. Oh, so here's what I can do right now. Instead of cursing all the way through that, I can go second function, table setup, and now why don't I start at 0.9. Enter, second function, table. So at 0.9, still positive, or negative rather, it's still concave down, and then it switches. Look at that. At 1, it's concave up again. So there you go. Your intervals that work are D for that one, negative 1.5 and negative 1, and 0 and 1. Okay. And now you should try this one here. And now notice though, yeah, this for the multiple choice, the number of digits doesn't matter. It's more for a long extended response or free response question where you've got to have it to 4 significant digits. Anyway, so you're going to do the same sort of thing. You're going to look for an interval that's concave down and given this derivative right here. Okay, and if you should probably pause it and work through that question right now.